I have practiced yoga for over 20 years. I did not prioritize mobility until about 5 years ago, and it has made a huge difference in how I feel, how I move, how I recover, and how I train. Mobility is undervalued by way too many, and yet it makes a huge difference in your gains. I concur. I agree, Christian. Daniel says that yoga ain't gay. All right,
we choose truth over fact.
Because
it ain't gay. So even if you like the salchicha a little bit, or you like the scissor, yoga and mobility is good for you. It's good for you. Thank you, Daniel, for the very detailed and poignant feedback. Joshua says, start now and never stop. Day one, consistency. Definitely took this for granted when I was younger. Kelly says to do it. Make it as important as lifting. I agree. Integrate it with your lifting. It is lifting. Mike says, keep it simple with something I said yesterday to my friend who's just getting into lifting. Strength is meaningless without mobility. Indeed. Strength through a full range of motion. Indeed. Riley says, I would tell myself to make sure that I dedicated time each day and have specific days just for yoga. I really undervalued it growing up since no trainers and coaches really ever made it a priority. Now in my 20s, I feel so much better for making the time every day for mobility. So my advice is just to do it, even if it's just 7 minutes, aka a Swole in 7. So you could join over at swolenormousx.com, download the Swolenormous app, and get access to all of our Swole in 7-minute. We got mobility, we have kettlebell, sandbag, club, mace, bands. What else we got there? We got kettlebell. We got everything. The Swole 7 is great. Great for a warm-up. We have Swole 7 mobility. So 7 minutes with a variety of different types of training protocols. But of course, everything else is available. All of our programs. You could start Maximum Swole. We got the 90-day dash, Scorched Earth. We got Swole Season. We have a lot, Swole Mastery. We have a lot of different programs. And of course, all of our master classes, weekend Swolosophy episodes are in there. We got a lot of great stuff inside. And of course, you get access to all the private live streams. We had a roundtable 2 weeks ago. We're going to have a roundtable coming up real soon. So very excited for all the new content and new releases today. It's very exciting. Let's get into some Knowledge Cock. Drop your questions in the comments down below. Hashtag AskPapaSwolio. We're going to load up Instagram for some comments. So drop your topics and we will get into them. Let's jump on into the first question of the day. This one's from Rafael.
What's in the box?
All right. Let's see here. First question. I believe that's an old one. Oh, why'd that one open up? Oh, all right. So we open up some old questions. Must not have synced up properly. All right. First one of the day. All right, hashtag absurd gains. I'm just going to put that on the screen for a second while I delete this. Very nice. All right, first question is from Asher Fallen. Asher Fallen, 25. What is, Papa Swolio, the best time to work out? Whenever you can. Earlier in the day is by default better. Earlier in the day is better. Simon Blackledge, 85. Papa Swolio, if you can't turn fat into muscle, what's the point of bulking and cutting? What are you talking about? You don't turn fat into muscle. You don't turn muscle into fat. That's not how the body works. Bulking just means having sufficient calories and sufficient protein so you can build lean mass. Cutting is so you can prioritize minimizing fat storage and getting rid of extra body fat. But you're not going to build muscle if you're not getting stronger. So focus on building muscle. If you're fat, build muscle. If you are skinny, build muscle. Everyone should be building muscle. Bulking just means getting fat. Building muscle is building muscle. Just stop using bulking and cutting. Stop using bulking and cutting, because bulking for most people is just getting fat. They're putting on fat and water. Yeah, the weekend episodes are up. We have them on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. So we started putting the weekend Swolosophy back on the RSS feed, but we're also compiling them inside Swole TV and in the education portion. So the weekend Swolosophy episodes will also be available in the app. And the reason why we're doing both is so they're available in the app. That way you can search them, you can categorize them, you can save them to your playlists. We're making them available for members as always, and making them available in more places. That way we can archive them because they're very masterclass oriented and they're great to complement you with your training. So we're making sure we're putting them in the app also. Damn Geel, Papa Swolio, is there too much weight you can put on good mornings? Good mornings are a great exercise. I recommend good mornings. I think it's a great way to do it. Great with a Smith bar or safety bar. It's great with a transformer bar. They're great on a Smith machine, but good mornings are fantastic. It's great just like a stiff leg deadlift or an RDL, depending on how much you bend your knees. It's just a different place for the weights to go in terms of the moment arm. Is there too much? Yeah. There's too much on any exercise if you're not actually prepared for it. If you haven't done progressive overload, if you don't have good form, then of course there's too much on any exercise if it's too heavy for your proper execution. Main Marshall on Rumble. If you're live on Instagram, drop your questions in the comments. We're just taking questions during the Knowledge Cock portion of the Daily Swole podcast. Click the link in bio so you can join the fam over there on Rumble and YouTube. That way you can watch the full show with video and audio. We got a lot of soundboards. We watch videos and stuff like that. So make sure you come on over so you can catch the full show. And subscribe on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Papa Swolio, Main Marshall, when the weight has gotten heavy enough on an exercise to the point your form is now incorrect, what should you do? Drop the weight. You should never have incorrect form. If you're putting on too much weight and you can't execute it properly, it's too heavy. Sam Leby, Papa Swolio, please share your hair secrets. I try so hard but can't even compare. Aw, well, it's proper nutrition, but also we're launching the products that I actually use in my hair. It's all organic essential oils, and they are launching shortly, very shortly, Mane Gains and Scalp Seed. So Scalp Seed is one of our new products that we're launching. Members are going to get first access to it for the pre-order, and that's going to be happening any moment now. Very excited. I'm not giving you an exact date, but we're just finalizing, and we'll be opening up pre-orders ASAP. Very excited for that. Mane Gains is for the mids and the ends, so prevents hair splitting. It's great for hair strength, for the actual, the bulk of your hair. So you put that in the mids and the ends, and the Scalp Seed is to encourage growth and stronger follicles. So it stimulates the follicles and it will improve the growth of your hair and the strength of the roots. So we have two products, plus we have the Bull Cream, which is 100% organic, grass-fed and finished beef tallow. That's the base. Very exciting. And we have a scented and unscented Bull Cream. So very excited for those things to drop. And those will be available over at papaswolio.com. Same place as the merch, hats, shirts, mugs, everything over there. Arcone95 on Instagram. Is it okay to eat more than the recommended protein milligrams a day? Do we still benefit? Well, you're not eating milligrams of protein. I guess you are. Grams are made up of milligrams, I suppose. Well, recommended protein, you should be eating about 0.8 grams per pound of body weight. That's a good place to start. Most people don't need more than that. Most people overconsume protein and don't get in enough quality carbohydrates and fat. You don't need excessive protein intake. A lot of people are eating 300 grams a day when you're 200 pounds. You shouldn't be eating double. Eat for your lean mass, not for your overall mass. And remember, if your focus is progressive overload and building muscle. So if you're not getting stronger, you're not likely putting on muscle mass. So make sure you're focusing on your training, providing the proper stimulus, minimizing fatigue, and building your strength and building your muscle. And then just slowly increasing your overall caloric intake over time. People are going way too much in terms of excessive consumption from the beginning, and you're putting on fat and water. It takes time to build muscle. You have to provide the stimulus for months and months. Arthur vlogs today, Papa Swolio. It's hard for me to go to the gym this week. Recommendation for some kind of home workout? Sure. Yoga, mobility, depending on what kind of weights you have at home. Implement it. This is why I say you should build out a home gym, even if it's supplemental to your gym membership. If the gym is closed, if there's bad weather, if you're busy, you can still keep your schedule at home. If you have a squat rack, if you have a bench, if you have some dumbbells, it depends on what you're trying to accomplish and what your needs are and what your ability is. But it's great to have a home gym set up. That way it can supplement. If anything, it's supplementing you going to the gym. Some people like myself and a lot of members of the Swole fam have built out complete home gyms, so you're never going to a commercial gym. But you can like and prefer, and maybe you like to use a commercial gym. But you can also have something at home. You could do yoga, you could do mobility, or you could have some minimal stuff. That way you can still execute a strength training workout on days where this is, or weeks when it is less convenient. And this is what we talked about in the weekend Swolosophy episode. So let's see, this weekend we had novel exercises, 3375, and adaptability leads to consistency. So for that person asking that question, you're going to want to listen to 3376, adaptability leads to consistency. So if you have, we'll go back to the previous question first. If you are adaptable, that's going to lead you to consistency. A lot of people don't have adaptability. Adaptability just means pivoting and being able to adjust on the fly, and that will lead you to be consistent. So if you're not adaptable, if you have to do it this way and you're not going to do it any other way, and you wake up a little bit later, or your schedule changes, everything falls apart, that's not a stable routine because things are going to get in the way. You have to learn how to pivot. You have to learn how to be adaptable if you want to be consistent. Bezos, Papa Swolio, what do you think about definition of, quote, real man? What do I think about definition of real man? I don't know. What's your definition of a real man? Why don't you guys drop that in the comments? What do you think a real man is? A real man. I would say a real man is someone with XY chromosomes. A real man has a penis and has an XY chromosome. How about that? How about, why don't you guys define a real man? How about you? So I don't know what I think of what the definition of a real man is, or what do I think of your definition of a real man? I'll pose that to the audience. Why don't you guys tell me what you think a real man is? How would you define a real man? Someone that goes to the fucking gym? Mark, ooh, not a Democrat. I would agree with that. Nathan, is creatine good for beginners? Creatine is great for everyone. Make sure that you are in a healthy place. I take creatine. I take 10 to 20 grams a day. Excellent. Cerny says, can't be a pussy. Squeegee says, not a woman. Pablo says, a real man is a guy who has a dick. A guy who has a dick. A real man is a man who has a penis. Very, very detailed. Very detailed. All right. Real man equals male chromosomes. What about chlorophyll? I have a soundboard for that. If you're
Chlorophyll?
if you're just watching on Instagram, you got to click the link in bio. Come on over on YouTube or Rumble if you want to catch all the soundboards. I have a soundboard for that. I just hit it. All right. Let's see. Maine Marshall. We got a question on Rumble. Papa Swole, you previously mentioned to me that I should take vitamin D3 because of where I live. Is a D3 supplement with 5,000 IU safe or too much in your opinion? I know you aren't a doctor. Well, I am. Well, I'm a doctor. I have a doctorate in logic and common sense. Yeah, that's standard. 5,000 to 10,000 is totally fine, depending on where you live. You could take a vitamin D supplement with K2. You get a lot of K2 in grass-fed beef, but a lot of vitamin D comes with K2. I believe it helps absorption. So you're totally fine with that. With any kind of supplement, it's great to stay with the general recommended dose at first. You could always increase after that. Even with creatine, I wouldn't recommend someone just never take creatine and then going to take 30 grams a day. Start off with 5 grams and see how you feel. And if it, for whatever reason, a lot of people are, some people complain, oh, I hold water, I feel all bloated. I don't know. I've never had any of those issues. I think that most of that is psychosomatic when it comes to creatine. People think that they're bloating and they're just eating garbage. But if you have any kind of indigestion, it could be the quality of your creatine, but also maybe how much you're taking at one time. So I've taken like 10 grams at one time, but I generally split it up 5 grams throughout the day. I just think it's better to split it up and give my body more opportunity to absorb it and not overload me in one shot. So I'll take 5, sometimes 10, but I've tried 10, but 5 in the morning. I'll take 5. If I'm working out, I'll take 5 or 10 around my workout, and I'll take it in my tea before sleep. So I take 10 to 20 a day. Sterling, on the topic of mobility, indeed. Let's get into it. What is your recommendation to strengthen seated posture to keep a more upright without slouching / rounding? Back gets tired because of slouching at work. Are you looking at a computer screen? So I have 4 monitors over here, and I have an adjustable desk. So I like to sit. I can stand also, but I also have my monitor elevated. So I'm looking straight ahead. So if you have a laptop and you're looking, you have to elevate so you're able to sit more upright. One of the most important things is people don't set up their environment for proper posture. So set yourself up for proper posture, elevate your screen so that eye level, you're looking straight ahead. You could have an adjustable seat, adjustable desk. Yoga is fantastic. You know, obviously strengthening your middle and lower traps and posterior deltoid and doing yoga, dead hangs, and working on those extensors in your thoracic spine. But proper setting yourself up so you can have proper posture. A lot of times people don't do that. LET says, I had those issues, but I was taking creatine with taurine. I quit that and went to straight creatine, issue gone. So you had issues with taurine, or maybe how much you were taking. Yeah, standing desk is great. This thing goes up and down. So if I feel like I want a little bit higher, I'll just kind of go a little bit higher, and then I can sit up a little straighter if I find myself slouching. Sheena says standing desk is a must. It's definitely good. It's definitely good. Absurd gains. Hashtag absurd gains. Trying to get that in focus. There we go. Wait, focus. There we go. Bingo. I'm going to get that camera reset up. Hashtag absurd gains in the comments for a chance to win today's Swole card. Spirulina is amazing. Well, enjoy that. Enjoy your grass. What are the benefits of, I don't do spirulina or chia seeds and all this, random shit. Just eat real food. Eat real food. It takes care of most of that stuff. Most people don't eat real food. They eat nutrient void food. They don't take care of their health. And then they supplement with all these things when you just need to focus on quality food. Because there's a lot of foods that you'll eat that'll bind to vitamins and minerals and kind of interrupt your body functioning. You're not really absorbing a lot of things. People still eat bread for protein. Well, it says it has 6 grams per slice and tons of glyphosate and wheat germ agglutinin and tons of stabilizers and preservatives, and you're just gumming up your system. You're not absorbing. It's not complete proteins. People are always trying to find protein in their cookies. I want protein cookies or protein cake. How about eating a steak? How about eating some meat for your protein? Stop eating dumb shit for your protein. Eat quality food. Eat real food, Bish. Ellie says, I have an adjustable stool that swivels and rocks. It's great for the few minutes I decide to sit. That's what I have. Notice I don't have a chair. I have a stool, so it spins and also goes up and down, so I can kind of rock and move a little bit. It's pretty cool. Sometimes I feel like I want a chair, but I'm not leaning back. I can rock and get a little mobility on my spine, move a little bit. Whee! Whee! Whoa! Thomas says a man is someone who can get a woman pregnant and take care of himself and his family. Yep, there you go. That's a good one. Sterling says Facebook is the worst, advertising protein cookie dough. Yeah, that stuff is it's so nonsensical. Protein cookie dough. Everyone's trying to act like my ice cream or my bread. Here's a great recipe for protein bread, and you're mixing all this crap in with whey protein. Just take the whey protein and move on, or eat a piece of fruit. Everyone's trying to put protein in everything. It's just, you're just eating ultra processed crap. You don't need your pasta. Protein pasta. Shut the fuck up. What are you talking about, protein pasta? You're disgusting. You're just eating fake ass food and trying to just shove. It reminds me of that, the Adam Sandler from Hot Chick. You can put your weed in there. You can put your weed in there. It's like, oh, pasta. You could put your protein in there. Oh, look at this bread. Oh, yeah, I like that bread. Sure, sure, sure. You could put your protein in there. Muhammad Tala, proud of being Pakistani. Well, that makes one of you. Dun-dun. Hey! Hey-o. All right. Racer Brett 25. Do you have any recommendations for someone getting back to the gym is very large? Yeah. Patience. Follow the 7 pillars. Focus on your environment, eating quality food, lifting heavy weights, do it for years. Get on a quality strength training program. All right. Last chance for questions, and then we're going to move into some balls deep and some new releases. We'll have a throwback, and maybe we'll get into a couple. Maybe we got a couple things on X. See what we got going on today. All right. Bundy says, I've lost about 70 pounds going to the gym twice a day. Been focusing on muscle building, but I'm stuck now. Need to lose 28 pounds more. You're so close. Well, stop worrying about the weight loss. Stop worrying about the weight loss. You need to lose 28 pounds. You need to be doing this for the rest of your life. So stop with these like short-term goals. Twice a day is too much. You're probably overdoing it. And focus on building muscle and getting stronger. If you're not building muscle if you're not getting stronger. Quality food. Cutting out inflammatory foods, getting rid of all these garbage toxins in your environment. That's the next step. Arcone, can I see progress with muscle gain or recomposition if I only work out 3 times a week but track my macros? Macros are not the most important thing. Recomposition, muscle gain 3 times a week, full body 3 times a week is great. Getting stronger, provide the stimulus, and keep trucking. Recomposition. Everyone's obsessing about details. You don't have anything to recomp to. People are trying to cut. You don't have any muscle to cut to. You're going to cut and then be skinny and flat. Most people are trying to cut to nothing. You know, I'm 160 pounds. I'm trying to lean out. Why? You look like you look like a wet rag. Get jacked, build muscle. That'll take you 5-10 years. Build muscle. Focus on building muscle. Focus on building muscle as much as you can. Or I should say this, focus on building as much muscle as you possibly can. Why? Because it's hard to build muscle. Some people say it's easy. Fine, but you have to do that for a long time. If you try to build as much muscle as possible, you'll be happy because you'll build whatever you're going to build. If you're not trying as hard as you can in order to build muscle, you're not going to build much, if any at all. You have to be focusing on building muscle. Building muscle, get stronger. Make that 100 pounds 110, 120, 130. Make that 6 rep turn into 7 reps, turn into 8 reps. That 12th rep to turn into 13, 14, add some weight. Now it's 8 reps. Now try to get that 9. Now try to get 10. Now try to get 11. Focus on building muscle. Focus on building muscle. There's so many people that are trying to lean out and cut. You're going to cut and just be skinny fat. You're not cutting to anything. There's nothing in that sculpture. It's like hollow marble. You cut the end and there's nothing there. What are you cutting to? You don't have any muscle mass. The disposition and genes of the body, the least interesting thing about getting healthy. Most people, if you're using genes, that's just an excuse. Maybe muscle insertions and stuff, but the rest of that's just garbage. That's just a victim mentality. My genes, my genetic predisposition. You mean your habits of eating garbage and not exercising all the time? Here's the thing, I'm always trying to get to the least common denominator, which is going to the fucking gym, just trying to get people into the gym because most people aren't going, period. And then, of course, you have to know what you're doing. You have to do it properly. That's the next step. And most people don't have enough muscle mass. They're trying to put on weight, but they're not doing the right things to put on muscle. They're just eating more and getting fat. You know? Boom, 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 boom. Last chance for questions. Loretta, like eating for your blood type, just eat real food. And this is why you do the elimination diet, because you're going to figure out what foods work best for your body, and then you just eat those. And then you eat more of those, or you adjust the quantity of those foods that you like. The issue is when we talk on the show, because we've been doing this is episode 3,377. So we've gone through the basics over and over again. The kind of shit that I deal with and the kind of shit that I play around with is not what a beginner should be playing around with. A lot of the advice that I give, it's good advice, but it's for someone who's been training for 10, 15, 20 years. I have advice for beginners too. That's why we have the Swolenormous app and Swolenormous X, and you could join. You could click the links in bio and become a member and get access to all of our programs and the app. It's great. But the thing is, if you're just starting out, you don't need to worry about the fine tuning. When I'm talking about leaving a rep in reserve and changing your split subtly, a lot of this is just more advanced. For people that are just getting started, you just have to focus on the basics and just building muscle. You don't have to worry about all the fancy shit. There's so many kids on TikTok and Instagram that are doing all these fancy exercises. They don't have any mass. There's nothing to be sculpting. You target my lower lat. I want to get a little bit on the outside part of my tricep. You just have no triceps. If you have bigger muscles, they're going to be bigger everywhere. You know, that's where your genetics are going to come in. You're going to have certain ab separation. You're going to have certain, chest development. Everyone's muscles are kind of shaped a little bit differently, or the insertions. You might have longer muscle bellies. If you get bigger muscles, you're going to see the outcome of those muscles. You're not going to be hitting the lower part of your biceps. Just get bigger biceps and you'll build the lower part. A lot of this stuff is not complicated. People just don't train hard, obsess about it, and do it for years and years and years. And you're going to build bigger muscles. In the future, or after, as you're building muscle and as you're making those gains, you might see certain areas that are lagging behind, which is normal. If you're doing a pressing movement and you're doing chest pressing, your shoulders or maybe your triceps or maybe your chest and your shoulders are getting more developed, but your triceps are lagging a little bit. So then you start prioritizing certain body parts and you're split, and that's totally fine. But most people don't have anything to prioritize. They have no muscle anywhere. They have to focus on everything. And I posted this on X the other day. You're going to learn about business by starting a business. Going to school to study business in college is the stupidest fucking thing you can do. You learn about a business by starting a business, or by working in a business and shadowing someone and reading books from people that have run successful companies and reading autobiographies and reading books and actually doing the thing. You're going to learn about training. You could listen to the podcast all you want. You could listen to the podcast. This is the 10th year. We're almost on a 10-year anniversary. You can listen to this podcast for 10 years. If you never go into the gym, you're not going to build any muscle. So you need to do the thing. You need to try the things and, I like this. This was good, but this bothered. Then you navigate. Let me try this instead. Hey, I was doing this, but I got really tired and something started hurting me. So I'll try this. Oh, let me try this for form. Let me add this exercise in. And you try different things. You're always trying. You're always testing. I've been lifting for 25 years and I'm still testing and swapping things out and adjusting things. I'm always adjusting. So you have to understand that you don't want to be changing things all the time fundamentally. But as you get older and as you get more experienced and as you've exposed your body to a lot more of these stresses, you have to make more subtle changes and be very mindful, because it takes a lot more specific targeted effort to make those little small incremental progresses. When you start, you can do a lot of different things and get results because your body is exposed to a novel stimulus. So everything's kind of novel and everything's going to be stimulating. So you can do a lot of stupid shit and build muscle, and most people do because you don't know what you're doing or you're trying to figure it out. Most people aren't students. They don't actually care. They don't actually care. They just want to ask questions. They're assholes. You just want to ask, hey, how do I lose weight? How do I build abs? How do I get this? And you're not actually doing anything to really do it. You're not really truly interested in making that progress. You say you are, but you're not really. A lot of people just want to hear themselves ask a question. And they want to be told it's a good question. They want to be told that it's complicated and it's really hard. It's really hard for you to do. It's not. It's not. You just don't care enough. You don't actually want to do it. Otherwise, you would do it. You stop talking about doing it. All right. Let's get into some balls deep content. Let's get into those releases. Are you ready, fam? If you're watching on Instagram, come on over to Rumble and YouTube at The Daily Swole. Catch the rest of the show. Thanks for being here. Join us. All right, let's get into some new releases.
That's deep.
Let's get into some new stuff. New releases. Let's do it. All right, where are they? All right, so we have in the Swolenormous app, we have a new recipe this week. First release of the day. Bacon wrapped chicken. Vegetables and bacon. We love it. We love it. Aww. So if you're looking for something to wrap your vegetables in, wrap it in bacon. That's what we're saying now. That's what we're saying now. Bacon wrapped chicken, bacon wrapped vegetables. Chicken's a vegetable, by the way. We have the merch to prove it. Bacon wrapped chicken, now available. Delicious. Delicious. All right, let's get into some featured classes. These rotate every single week. This week, we have Express Shoulder Flow with Genevieve. Great class, now available on your homepage. Featured yoga class, all right? Featured yoga. Shoulder Flow Express. We have Swollen 7 Mace Round 5. And we also have Papa Swolio's featured pump number 4, chest and back. So go enjoy those. Go enjoy that new shit. We have new merch coming up in just a second. We got yoga and merch. Very excited about that. So by the way, because we're just talking more specifically to members right now, we do have the new oils and creams, and they are going to be in the next couple days. Stay tuned. We will have the pre-order, and very excited. So we'll be able to get those out to you ASAP. So they're just the final finishing touches on shipping and the back end, but they are ready to go. Very excited about that. Bull cream, main gains, and scalp seed. Just the beginning. It's just the beginning. Here we go. Yoga. Hit the like button, and of course, let's get into this one. We'll have a throwback too. We'll do a throwback today also. We got new Yoga Express lunch break. Ooh, perfect time for 1:40 p.m. Express lunch break. Yin with Wall with Alex. Very, very nice. Good class.
I gave it a 10.
More yoga.
A 10. A fucking 10.
More. Lunch break. Yin with the wall. If you don't have a wall, get yourself a piece of plywood. Get yourself a piece of plywood. Get yourself up on that wall. Get a wall coming to a wall near you. Express lunch break, yin with wall with Alex. Great class. Very nice. Thank you, Alex. Awesome. All right, let's do a throwback, and then we will launch that new merch. Let's do a TBT. Let's do a little throwback. Or should we do it after the Swole card? We'll do it after the Swole card. You guys want merch, or we do the merch first? We do the merch. What do you guys want? TBT? You want the merch? Want the Swole card? We'll do the Swole card and then the merch. What should we do? What direction are we going here? I'll leave it up. I'll float that for the fam. What do you guys want to hear first? We got new stuff. Last chance for questions. People want some merch. We'll do merch first. Ooh, we do merch first. Everyone's like, I just want to get the merch. Just give me the merch. No one cares about the show. I just sign up here and just be like, merch. And then we move on. Merch, Swole card, and then throwback. Merch, Swole card, and then throwback. All right, 20% off. PapaSwolio.com. Release the Kraken.
What's in the box?
So, again, pause. You guys know I've been raped. I have been bastardized. My IP has been stolen for decades. Jurassic Pump, Forest Pump, Depth Vader, Swole Rats, Back to the fucking Gym. All my ideas have been ripped off for classics. For classics. I mean, absolute classic movies. Don't get me wrong, the movies are classics, but they're classics for a reason because my writing and my branding and my marketing was on point. But then they were stolen. Lats turned to Jaws. All these things are completely my IP, and they're just been, I haven't made a dime. I should be like a multi-billionaire with all of this amazing, all this creativity that I've just been a fountain and the backbone of Swolenormous. So we have yet another one. Again, really frustrated with this one. I mean, it really is it's just, Sheena says they had to change that 10% to avoid copyright. I'm a billion in royalties. I should literally, I might have to sue. But anyway, here's another one. Add it to the list. Add it to the heap.
What's in the box?
The heap. Introducing the not so little Swole maid. Oh, yeah. I mean, you've heard of the Little Mermaid, but this was the original. The not so little Swole maid. And I mean, it was a classic. The Little Mermaid was great, but the not so little Swole maid was going to be much more popular. This would have absolutely gotten a generation completely jacked. And then it's like, oh, it's a love story. It's a this. No, it's bullshit. It's a fucking lie. Everyone's fat. Look, imagine if Forest Pump came out. Imagine if Jurassic Pump came out. Imagine if it was Depth Vader and everyone's like, oh, I love Star Wars. Imagine if, Depth Vader was actually in the movie. It was Swole Wars with Depth Vader and Luke Swolewalker. Imagine if they were all just lifting and getting jacked. All these Star Wars nerds, they should have been Swole Wars nerds. They were just being in the gym. The gyms would have been themed Swole Wars. It would have been great. I mean, so many people would have been in shape. People watching the movie Lats instead of Jaws. We're gonna need a bigger boat. We're gonna need some heavier weights. Like, these are just, all these famous lines were just completely changed. And sure, they were big in culture, but now we're actually big. Now people are morbidly obese because all these things were changed. This is the schism. This was the pivot point in our culture. And if these things weren't all completely changed, before the time of, during the production period, everyone would be a lot more jacked. All right. Well, the not so little Swole maid, check it out. Looking jacked. We got all the characters there making sick fucking gains. Everyone's flexing. Look at that. Boom. Absolutely jacked. Look at that guy. Look at that guy. Love it. Love it. The not so little Swole maid. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. All right, let's get into the Swole card and then we'll do the throwback. Here we go. Give away a Swole card. Absurd gains. Let's kick it off. Making those gains. Absurd gains today. Just absurd, ruthless, mind-bending gains. Scrolling. Today's winner is Jeremy Beast Mode. Congratulations. Look at that. Looky there. Congratulations, JBM. Send us an email to support@swolenormous.com, swolecard 3377. In the subject, mailing address in the body of the email. Thanks for playing. Absurd gains. Ludicrous gains. Ludicrous gains. Absolutely insane. The Swole maid is hanging dong. The Swole maid's hanging dong. Is that right? Oh, that's a shadow. I like that too. It's the shadow. It's kind of like dong. Ha 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 ha. Ridiculously swole. All right, let's see. Jeremy. Is Jeremy here? Jeremy, you get to pick our throwback. So pick a number 1 through 7. 1 through 7. Jeremy, you're the winner of the Swole card, so why don't we do that? Why don't we do that? Jeremy, pick a number between 1 and 7. It could be 1, it could be 2, it could be 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7. Jeremy says number 6. Let's see what we got here. Oof. That's going to hurt. That's going to hurt, but
What's in the box?
you know it's going to hurt. You know it's going to hurt. Here we go.
Once a month, trans women will experience what is known as a period.
No, you don't!
Some astute viewers might notice that most trans women don't have a uterus, let alone an ovaries or anything along the lines of that.
Yeah, no shit.
But that doesn't change the fact that they are experiencing a period.
You're insane.
Pretty sure you can't drop an egg if you don't have ovaries or X chromosomes or a uterus or a vagina. Look, if I punch you in the stomach and it hurts, that's not a period, bro.
The main one is they're experiencing PMS. Now, people who experience PMS are anyone with a hormone cycle similar to a woman's. This includes trans women, cis women, and intersex people. Men can actually even experience what is similar to a period because of their hormone cycle.
No, they can't.
If a man has a high amount of estrogen in their body, they will have irritable male syndrome. I believe is what the name is called.
He
What?
doesn't even know.
Well, I guess Democrats would be... Democrats have... Do male Democrats sync up with other Democrats? Is that how it works? So maybe all these real male feminist libtards, they all have cycles. Maybe that's what's going on. Maybe that's why they're mentally insane, because their estrogen is so high. They're having emotional instability like women do. Yeah. Yeah. Keep on putting tomato paste up your butt. That's not a period, bro. Sheena says if those asshats really actually experienced a period, they change their minds about being trans real quick. Can you imagine? I mean, I guess you can imagine. We watch this stuff all the time. But the absolute insanity, who the fuck would want a period? Who would want a period? I'm a man. I'm not saying having a period is easy and a menstrual cycle. I'm just grateful that I don't have to deal with that. Why the fuck would I want to have, I want to feel uncomfortable for 5 to 6 days or whatever every fucking month. I don't want to feel period. I don't want to feel cramps. No, I'm cool, man. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. We good. Oh, we're good. No, I want to be in pain. I want people to look at me. I have a period. No, you don't. No, you don't. You say Taco Bell. I think eating Taco Bell is probably the closest thing a man can experience to having a period. What do you think, ladies? Eating a grande combo meal, that'll probably give you menstrual cycle cramps. That's probably accurate. Cerny says, if I remember right, Cerny's last period was like JFK. Cerny had her last period when we went to the moon. But we didn't, and Cerny's like, nuh-uh, we didn't get through the Van Allen radiation belt. We didn't land on the moon. It was filmed in a studio. Sheena says, I'd like to be on the other side of menopause already. LOL. Ellie says, no one wants a period. They're never welcome. It's so funny, right? You have all these mentally insane males. I want a period. All the women are like, take mine. Any woman is like, take mine. Please, take mine. Here. I'll trade you this discomfort. I'll trade you. You're going to bleed for a week. Here, I'll trade you that. Sure. You want to shed your uterine lining? Cool. You can have mine. Who wants that? Who wants that? No one does. Women don't even want that. Oh my God. But I guess, look, but then you can have babies. That's because you can have babies. And you have 2 X chromosomes and you have ovaries. Taking estrogen and shoving tomato paste up your butt is not a period. Does not a period make. does not a period make. Congratulations, Jeremy, on winning today's Swole card. Fam, enjoy this new releases. Weekend Swolosophy is available. It's on your podcast feed. And we also have them available this weekend. 3375 and 76 are also in your new releases tab. So very excited. It's in the education section. It's in Swole TV. Weekend Swolosophy is available. Don't miss out on that. So you can listen on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. You could also check it out in the Swolenormous app. Novel exercises and adaptability leads to consistency. So even if you listened on Spotify, make sure you go into the app and drop a comment. I'm excited to read them. Go check it out. It's right there at the top of Swole TV. It's in your education section and the new releases. Go and check it out. And we'll be back here tomorrow for 3378 Beaches. Thanks for being here. Peace, McGee's. Deuce, Magoose. Ya boy, Papa Swolio. Out.
Crazy flow, need a straight jacket. Cash flow, I'm a bank addict. 6 subs, had the bass smacking. 808s, had the place clapping. 3 girls is enough for me, so I pull out like the stock's crashing. Like an IPO trying to purchase me. This a private sector, so you can't have it. Faking all that boom bapping. Who you think you is, boy? 90s want they sound back, so I give rap all these fake rappers as I take matters in my own hands. I don't need rapping, I don't need Zans. I don't need help, I'm a grown man. Now they can't left and they so mad, it's like
then yeah, I found that young king with my crown at 10 racks in the fanny pack, couple hundred in the Louis bag.
That's a bag that you made.
that's a bed that you made.
That's a bed that you laid.
That's a bed that you laid.
What kind of game is you playing?
What kind of game is you playing?
We go hard in the paint.
We go hard in the paint, yeah.
Fuck is you saying?
What the fuck is you saying?
Go with it.
I only go where they pay.
What kind of game is you playing?
What kind of game is you playing?
Yeah, whoa, my shit is relevant, on topic, my melanin is popping.